Hey, and we're back with another episode of Before You Buy, that show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. It's me, Jake Baldino, today, and even though it's the end of the year, we're still getting plenty of game releases now with this, Marvel's Cosmic Invasion. This is the newest game from the publisher Dotemu and the developer Tribute, who, if you're not familiar, were behind 2022's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, which I really enjoyed. So this video is pretty simple, honestly. They've done it again. If you like the old school beat 'em up style games with a dash of new technology and modern features, this is a fun, simple pickup. It's a good beat 'em up that's fun with friends. It's easy to jump into and, mash your way through, but even more fun to figure out some of the complexities and mess around with all the characters. If you like these types of games, Cosmic Invasion is a no-brainer. It's not the longest thing, but it's definitely a must play through at some point. Just so you know, I've been playing a review copy, and all this footage is captured running on a PS5 and is spoiler-free. So what do you get here? You get a campaign mode to play through that's worth playing through at least, I'd say, more than once, an arcade mode, and a suite of unlockables. You can play the entire thing solo or cooperatively on the couch or via online play. Now, as always, I highly recommend playing these types of games with a friend, but just know I did spend a fair amount of hours playing alone, and I still had fun. But the thing here, the big thing, is the campaign. This you can run through in about 3-4 hours. It gives you a nice little tutorial, and then it throws you into a trippy Marvel adventure where a nihilist is trying to take over. It's a lighthearted, sometimes goofy little adventure that's just like a nice love letter to some of the weirder Marvel stuff, and I love to see it. You're encountering characters and environments and enemies that just feel really good to see in bright pixelated color. I mean, like, you could take Cosmic Ghost Rider to Genosha. You get to fight with Null. Like, there's a lot of cool, fun moments, and the game clearly gives a damn about the comic books more than anything else. And that comes down to the roster, too. You can unlock up to 15 characters, and there's a good mix of stuff. There's the guys that gotta have. Everybody recognizes them. Black Panther, Captain America, Spider-Man, Iron Man. But then you get, like, Phoenix. You get Nova. So I like that the roster's just kind of weird. It's not, like, going all obscure. It's not going all mainstream. It kind of rides this nice middle interesting line that at the very least I'd like to see with this game, like somebody pick it up that isn't too familiar with some of these characters. Maybe it's a kid just getting into comic books. They're gonna see Nova and be like, who the hell is that? I want to find out more. But what's cool about playing through with these characters and how you unlock some of them is that you fight them in the adventure. So you encounter a character, you fight them at a boss battle, you beat them, and then you unlock them. Very Smash Bros style. I really enjoyed that.
Jewel? I'll eat your brains, Spider.
Why can't I ever get away from this guy?
You are in control, Gene.
Shield!
And with playing through this campaign adventure, there are kind of branching paths that give you a little different levels. It's not like the craziest end-all be-all thing because it all leads to the same place. But along with that, every level has challenges that kind of like encourage you to maybe use different characters or experiment a little bit. Like, starting off pretty early, but it's like, oh, kill X enemies with Iron Man's blasts, or do this with Spider-Man. That stuff's all well and good, and you can kind of get like this team level after finishing levels where your characters level up, and essentially they all just unlock the same state of little incremented upgrades, like, increased health or increased damage, stuff like that. But I've really buried the lead here. I didn't actually talk about the gameplay yet, and it's the best part. It's a good, fun, simple beat 'em up. Every character has all different types of unique moves, moves while dashing, a basic attack button, a jump attack. Some characters have like a button you hold down for like a charge type of attack thing. Look, there's a good amount of move variation here that I think works really well. It feels like some characters just like they might have a few more abilities or moves at their disposal, but they all just feel really damn solid, and it's fun to kind of mess around and mash buttons and just figure out the moves for yourself. You can, of course, pause the game and look up the move list, the overall, and then the ones for the individual characters. And along with that, speaking of moves, the coolest thing is that every character has a special focus attack, which is essentially like their ultimate, and you need to burn focus to use these attacks, and these are really cool attacks. Visually, they always look absolutely awesome. A lot of them kind of fall into just the AoE blast that just kind of like fills the screen, so some are different. I wish there was a little more variation and creativity here, but either way, they look fantastic. They usually feel fantastic to pull off, and just the big thing here for me is discovering all the moves for these characters, not only just because it's cool to figure out how to do a grab with Venom or a She-Hulk body slam or something like that, but also just the way these characters look and animate is absolutely incredible. Seeing Eddie Brock pop out of Venom, Iron Man effortlessly flying and doing the Iron Man superhero landing when you do the dive punch move, that stuff just feels really great, and the game is just a sight to behold in that regard. If you like pixel art, or if you're just like an old school gamer, you will absolutely appreciate seeing these characters do their things on screen. There's like a level of real artistry and care to the way these characters look and feel, like how they play, that is on a really, really good level. A lot of great kind of references and Easter eggs in their movesets. Oh, and the other thing is that you can pick 2 characters. So every player gets to pick 2 characters that they swap between. If you're on a controller, it's one of the triggers, and you can tag out and have your other character come in and start fighting. If one dies, then you just have to use the other one. But the big thing is flipping back and forth between them to extend combos, kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom style. And it's absolutely awesome here. It feels almost the same, and it's sick as hell, because not only can you bounce back and forth between characters, keeping a combo up, like, you know, like juggling an enemy in the air as you jump back and forth between Spider-Man and Captain America on screen, but also it does that thing that some games do where, like, when you tag in another character but you press a face button as well, they'll do a different ability. So you can really just become an absolute monster, bouncing back and forth between characters, doing all types of attacks and just filling the screen. Now, if you have another person at the same time doing that, or 3 or 4 people bouncing between these characters, it can just be all out chaos. It's insane. Sometimes it's very hard to keep track of what's going on screen, but sometimes that's kind of half the fun with these. All those things feel really, really good to pull off. Every hit, every strike, the feel is there, even with a dodge or counter. There is a dodge/counter button depending on what character you roll with, and getting a perfect little like counter parry reflect thing is really satisfying, because then you get to see even more cool character animations. Those take a little bit more practice. It's definitely something that, like, you don't have to master your first playthrough, but it's a cool ability to have if you want to get a little more hardcore with it. And again, that's where I think this game really works. You can get a little in depth, you can get a little more nerdy, a little more technical with it, but if you're playing with, like, you know, a younger sibling or a kid, they are going to have a hell of a good time too. In terms of other progression stuff besides the character stuff I mentioned, there is like a file viewer, which you can get like descriptions of all the things on the game, as well as you can access the cosmic matrix, which I would say is kind of like a Mortal Kombat crypt, where you just click on stuff and unlock stuff. So here you spend earned cosmic cubes to unlock all kinds of stuff. You know, the notes I mentioned, different tracks from the game's soundtrack, new hero palettes, so more color palettes for all your different superheroes. I actually wish there were more of those, to be honest, like more colors, more variations, but you can also unlock arcade mode modifiers. So essentially this cosmic matrix can give you a lot, and it doesn't take too long to really unlock the entire thing. Cosmic Invasion isn't the longest experience by any means. Like I said, the campaign, if you play through it once, you know, 3 or 4 hours, but you're definitely going to want to play through it once or twice, mess around with arcade mode. If you want to collect everything, you can maybe push up to 20 hours with this, but that's depending on how good you are at the game. So it's a simple one. It's not a full price game to reflect that, but I think for most people, this is just a simple, good, fun time. And honestly, sometimes with video games, that's what I want. It demands just enough of me as a player and shows me some really cool shit that I loved growing up as a comic book weirdo. Like I said at the start, this is a pretty simple video, so Dotemu and Tribute, they've done it again. I've been very happy playing through this, and I recommend it if you like Shredder's Revenge, if you like Marvel stuff. I wish it was longer. I wish there was even more character color palettes, but that's really it. Those are my biggest negatives. So really, not too much to say, but I was happy to talk about this one, but now I want to talk to you guys in the comments about it. All because this is a before you buy. I give you some pros, some cons, and a lot of personal opinion, and now I want to hear yours down in the comments. Like, what do you think about these types of games? Some people think that these are just kind of like old school retro games and people don't care about them anymore, but there is an audience, and I am one of them. So if you're with me, let me know what you think of this one. Let me know if you've played any other games from Tribute or the like. Let's talk about beat 'em ups. Let's talk about Cosmic Invasion. Anything at all, hit me up down in the comments. If you like this video, clicking the like button helps us out. We really appreciate that. And if you're new, consider subscribing, maybe hitting that notification bell, because we put out new videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
My telekinetic energy must rebuild.